is to fill that up with a lot of confidence. Make sure that he is as good as what anybody can be, and it's within him. Keep boosting that confidence, and I'm sure he'll come back. That's the mantra which we are using, because we only get that kind of people.
In fact, that's the most difficult end of the problem, which probably Karthik has been managing. But there are lots of people who are not so difficult. The typical somewhere in between. In fact, as a primary thing that we are trying to see is how do we motivate a person? Because if a person is motivated, then he or she on their own accord will go and find out answers and start developing. Couple of things that we tried and seems to have moved us incrementally forward. First and foremost, I'm not saying this is a mantra, but a couple of things that we tried, and maybe this can be of help. Demystify the word. A lot of students give up because they find what is being told to them to be too difficult to understand. The moment you start demystifying things, and they realize that this is actually not that difficult, then they start connecting. No. Second, bringing any student to. I'm sure a lot of my friends who acted very irresponsibly when they were in college, they're actually very mature, wise, sensible people now. How has that happened? I'm sure they have seen something of the light later, which is making them take much more responsibility. How about bringing some of that real life into the classroom? To go back to this particular college in Bangalore, where this group of information science, about to complete first year engineering students were disgusted with information science, and we talked to them about a jukebox, and suddenly they developed interest in their own subject. At times, giving them an application perspective, a real life perspective may help them see a better sense of purpose. But the third thing is, I don't think we have enough role models for our students. We do not have enough role models for our students. And sorry to say this, but there are lots of very interesting. For example, Dhirubhai Ambani, we all know is an extraordinary person. But most of our students today are probably not able to relate to him. Even I am not able to relate to him. He is a legend, and I probably worship him, but I am not able to relate to him. We probably need to have role models at an operating level. In fact, many times when we take industry volunteers to a classroom, forget about what they teach. The very fact that you have an industry professional coming and talking about their own struggle and how they maintain life, that itself can be very inspiring to a lot of students. I'm not very sure how many times have our students met anybody other than... In fact, if you also look at some of the extraordinary motivating professors, they inspire you because of the way in which they conduct themselves, not as much as what they teach us. How about bringing some more role models into the classroom? So these are some of the three things that we've been trying. And I don't have that particular slide, but there's one comment that we got from a class 10 girl who was actually a daughter of an agriculture labourer. She went through one of our programs. More important, she met one of the volunteers who was conducting this program. And she made a statement to the effect. She made it in Kannada. We converted that in English. But the statement she made to the effect was, what I've learned till now is making me expect something out of my life. And it's purely a role model effect, nothing more.
Maybe I'll just add a couple of lines. One is simple, sir. Youngly you will find that particularly leading colleges like RV, you can actually do that tomorrow. Every IIT actually knows. We do have what are called the PGMs, the President Gold Medals. Some of them make it extremely well, but not always. But surprisingly, you will find many of these biggies and the heroes whom you talk about are typically those who kind of manage to get a CGPA between 6 to 6.5. Surprisingly. So what happens is, the role models are those whom you normally think are not the best of the students. They are the people who really make it. So don't necessarily look at what is all the president's gold medal winners, etc., etc. You will find lots of them. Surprisingly, you find quite often people who are in some sense the lowermost CGPAs. Last, many of the students, you may think that they are not the best students. Probably they are very good students. Unfortunately, they didn't have good education in the schools. Okay? And maybe all that you have to do is quote Swami Vivekananda. All of us are made the same. We are all divine, we are all the same. It's just that we are not really kind of realizing our value. So I think if you get the empathy across, you will find a sea difference, and they actually end up doing much better than the so-called the students who think who have made it. Like a lot of times the people who are the toppers in the first year. So after what happened, we the professors also, we know that he's a 10-pointer. Okay, he's a 10-pointer, he must be good, almost give an A. And they don't even work for the A, so they don't actually deserve the A, they don't make it. Empathy is all that one. Sorry.
Yeah.